Will they ever learn to just keep their mouths shut? Critics slamming Sussexes for giving their 2 cents on world affairs.
Hello everyone. Welcome back to the King YouTube channel.
Yesterday, we reported that Meghan and Harry, the Duke and Duchess of Hypocrisy, have finally broken their silence on the crisis happening right now in Israel. On their Archwell website, under the title With Heavy Hearts, Meghan and Harry wrote, "At the Archwell Foundation with Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, we stand against all acts of terrorism and brutality. We are supporting our partners and organizations on the front lines in Israel to provide the urgent aid needed and to help all innocent victims of this unconscionable level of human suffering." Of course, Meghan and Harry had to issue a statement of their very own after King Charles and also Prince William and Princess Catherine issued statements condemning the violence. Meghan and Harry, though, didn't even bother condemning the violence. Instead, they just offered some vague word salad words, which, as we've already noticed, they're pretty good at doing. Are they good at affecting real change? Well, no, but why is word salad not good enough? And today, the critics are really letting them have it, so I want to share with you a couple of articles I came across. The first one is in the Daily Mail. Jen Moyer, who I'm a big fan of, wrote an article for the Daily Mail. Now, the headline is, "The week Charles and William gave Harry and Meghan a lesson in what it means to be royal." So I knew there was going to be some good stuff in this article. Let's talk about what Jan had to say. Right off the bat, Jan makes an excellent point. She says, "There isn't a situation in the world that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex can't make worse by eagerly inserting themselves into the narrative." And this is something that really bothers me about the Harkles too. They're a couple of nobodies. They don't really know anything about anything, but somehow they believe everything is their business and that we want to hear their thoughts and opinions on absolutely every single topic under the sun. Jan also points out that they didn't even really condemn Hamas. And, I noticed that too. She says it's just in case they antagonize someone who might be useful in the future. I agree with Jan. Meghan and Harry want to have it both ways. They want to be able to talk out of both sides of their mouths, because let's remember, they don't truly stand for, or for that matter, against anything. They change their opinions more often than some people change their underwear. Jen also mentions a few other celebrities who felt like they just had to say something. Apparently, Kim Kardashian issued a proclamation. So Kim Kardashian said, "As human beings with a heart, how can anyone not be devastated by these horrific images that we will never be able to unsee?" And then Madonna, "Imagine if this was happening to you. It's unfathomable." Well, just because other celebrities like to put out these meaningless statements doesn't mean we're going to let Meghan and Harry off the hook. Of course not. And besides, Meghan and Harry are not celebrities anyway. I know they're trying really hard to be celebrities, but they're not. They're just a couple of useless nobodies. And Jen Moyer, of course, is not the only royal reporter who's talking about this. Lady C has also shared her views on the matter. So she said that Meghan and Harry are not in a position to issue a statement on the matter, unlike frontline royal figures like Prince William and King Charles. And she is absolutely right. She added that it looks like Meghan and Harry are just trying to promote their own image. Of course they are. That's all they're ever trying to do. They don't really care about helping anybody except themselves. We have covered this. She called them self-promoting jerks, and I have got to agree. She also said they don't know their place. Prince William and the King are obliged to make some comment. Harry and Meghan should be making no comment whatsoever. It's not for royals to make comments. It's for the representatives of the state to make comment. They have forgotten how unimportant they are, and they need to remember their place and get back into their corner. Wow, some strong words, but words that Meghan and Harry really need to listen to. They're not going to, I know, but still, it would really behoove them to take this advice and to just shut their mouths for once. So then royal commentator Phil Dampier weighed in. He said it's good for them talking about international relations when they can't even sort out their own family. I always love hearing what Phil has to say, and again, he is spot on. What business do they have trying to solve the world's problems when they have so many personal problems of their own? Jen Moyer also made some really important observations about the statements that came from King Charles and also Prince William and Princess Catherine. Now, she says that the BBC has refused to even call Hamas terrorists, which I find absolutely appalling. I mean, just look at what those awful people are doing to those poor people in Israel. If that's not terrorism, I don't know what is. But apparently some broadcasters believe that it's more important to spare people's feelings, even if those people happen to be terrorists, than it is to just state the truth and stand up for the victims. In the article that she wrote for the Daily Mail, Jan Moyer says the Prince and Princess of Wales went even further, much further than some thought was wise. Not only were William and Kate profoundly distressed by the devastating events that took place, they went right ahead and called Hamas terrorists, something even the national broadcaster has refused to do. And she says that she admires their clarity and sense of justice. I agree with her 100%. I am so glad that William and Catherine were not too afraid to just state the truth. That is terrorism. What is happening right now is absolutely terrorism. Innocent children are being murdered. How on earth is that not terrorism? Honestly, folks, when I read the statement from Kensington Palace from Prince William and Princess Catherine, I felt like it was perfect. So now to hear that some people think that maybe it wasn't a wise move to outright call them terrorists, I'm shocked. What kind of world are we living in? So I did a little digging because I was just wondering who on earth would call that statement controversial? Who would say that it was controversial to support victims of terrorism? Well, I came across an article on GB News, and apparently there are some celebrities who have been issuing statements in support of Israel, and then they're getting attacked by the Palestinian side, according to Katie Nicholl. Now, Katie Nicholl also supports what William and Catherine said. It sounds like most people do. It sounds like they have received a lot of praise. Katie Nicholl, of course, is the royal editor for Vanity Fair, and so she said it's quite unusual to hear the senior royals venturing into that slightly political territory. Honestly, though, I see what she's saying. I guess they sort of are venturing into political territory, as she put it. But at the same time, this looks to me like Catherine and William just being good people, supporting people when they need support. I don't really think it's a political thing to condemn terrorism. In my opinion, that's just common sense. Nicholl also mentions that William and Catherine included something about Israel's right of self-defense, and she says it's something I think most people wouldn't argue with, but she makes a good point. Some people would argue with that. There are so many people out there who believe that Israel should not exist as a state, and so I guess those are the same people who would criticize a statement released by the Prince and Princess of Wales. It certainly doesn't make it right, but we are living in crazy times, you guys. There have been so many people out there who are attacking people who post anything and show support of Israel. Even on my Facebook, I've seen it. Now, these were not people who I really knew, and I quickly deleted them from my friends list. But there are some people out there who just hate Israel and everything that it stands for. And I'm sorry to say, but many of those people are Americans. Are they even Palestinian people? No, they're not. They're usually just woke idiots, much like Harry and Meghan, who accept what the mainstream media tells them without question. And they just buy into this narrative without question that Israel is evil. So when I think about that, it makes a lot of sense why Meghan and Harry didn't dare condemn Hamas in their statement and they didn't call them terrorists. Because these are the kinds of people Harry and Meghan are hanging out with in California. These woke people who see everything in black and white and who don't know a thing about history. The situation in Israel, between Israel and Palestine, is incredibly complicated, but these people do not understand that. They refuse to listen. So the more that I think about it, it's not only the emptiness and the word salad nature of Meghan and Harry's statement that I find bothersome. It's the fact that they really are trying to play both sides here. They're condemning what's happening without really saying what they're even condemning. It's typical of them, I know, but at the same time, I'm disgusted because seriously, they could have just kept their mouth shut, but no, they have to involve themselves in everything. And as Jan Moyer said, they really have a knack for making a bad situation even worse. And you, what do you think about Sussex's statement on the situation in Israel? Please let me know your opinion below in the comments section. Thank you so much for tuning in. Before you go, please don't forget to hit the like button.
Please don't forget to subscribe to our The King YouTube channel to get more updates in the future. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a lovely evening, and we'll be back to see you tomorrow. Bye. I love you all.